That's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got room. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 41 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
He gets it quickly to Galladay. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Throwing Jones to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Barkley. And he is out of bounds here. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and very short, Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. He's got Smith here. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another run here with Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5 from the 8. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 24, Jones. To the right and complete to Galladay. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down, back to Sanders. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught by Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Waiting on it will be Richie James. get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the draw, this is Barkley, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Now Jones. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Yeah, boy, now you see him, now you don't. Excellent move, nice run, winds up getting about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. An option handoff given to Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 62 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. 7-7, our score after 1. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. They'll need need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll set up to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Throwing on 1st down. Jones buying time to his left. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On to punt, Jamie Gillen. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 11. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw here. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Let's go now. Rambo 80.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Hurts throw there taken in by Smith. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On 2nd and inches. Hurts. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They run with Sanders off the option. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll go again with Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run with Sanders. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. O'Shane Zimenez in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The New York set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit. He tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, just like last play. Jones on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 114 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a 1st down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And he will have a 1st down as they're into field goal range now at the 30. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
They'll throw now on the final play. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result.
Notice that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield, because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll go with the option, coming right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Hurts going to keep it again. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again, Jones. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
James has got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. This complete to the former Longhorn Marcus Johnson. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second and 10, Jones. He's got Bellinger. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dance up for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage. A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Barkley is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Barkley again. And not a whole lot there as he'll get him down at about the 2. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on third down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
They try to throw on 4th and goal from the 2, and this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Well, so much for being backed up against their goal line to start the drive. He gave him some breathing room and then some. I think the defense really got caught thinking safety, trying to stack the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, if you can get past the initial grouping, there's a lot of room to run. The defense actually fortunate that didn't go farther.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It was Jalen Smith who worked through to make that stop.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Another run here with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Brown. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. Well, they've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
Hurts will throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick-6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. After the pick-6, they go right back to the air. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On second down, here's Barkley. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And out now come the Eagles. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Right there, 54.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Hurts throwing complete to Smith. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 16. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out come the Giants. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To try again after the sack. Jones throwing the out route incomplete. It's James. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Big play from a big man. Kayvon Thibodeau off the edge and dropping him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
And if you're keeping an eye on the box score, that last run puts him over the 100-yard mark for the game. And this defense has just had all sorts of trouble trying to keep him under wraps, both passing and running.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And that pick 6 a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth quarter lead. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Another run with Sanders. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on third down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Grant Calcaterra. 61 yards as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. New York set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Jones now. Throwing on first down.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down. Jones, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check.
Looking to throw. Jones.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Eluding the pressure right.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
57. Mike, 57.
To throw again. Jones. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
You don't want that, baby. You don't want that. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And he is going to have the Giants first down on a well-designed play there. That gets them 16 to move the chains.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Operating from the gun. Jones. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Let's go. Mike 57. Hey, D-line.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Richie James from 4 yards out. And the Giants get a bit closer. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, it's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.